Alrighty, good evening everybody. Welcome to the Las Vegas 201, brought to you by the BNR Truck Series at Las Vegas. Final four tonight here as they take on the Great Mile and a Half and all that other good stuff here. Sorry if I'm not in the best of mood. I've gotten bad news throughout the day, so don't really feel like talking, but here I am. But I'll go over the race information and then I'm done talking for the whole day, and that'll be that. So you see there, they're in Las Vegas. Current track temp is 68 degrees. The weather outside is 67 degrees Fahrenheit. 18% humidity. Is partly cloudy. There's 12 mile per hour. They get 50% fuel, so roughly 20 to 25, 26 I heard. Laps of fuel, they do got 5 sets, not 4. 134 laps, 101 miles. They get 1 quick fix, 3 attempts at a green, white, checkered. And one says, always like to thank Track Cams 22 for the awesome cameras here today. And hopefully the best of all that. As you said, the Final Four is Brandon Moore, it is Deion Johnson, it is Philip Bridgman, and it is Nick Rader. That is your Final Four, so hopefully it's a good one, a nice long one. See what they got. I see Justin Steves goes out there. Right now, Brandon Moore is on top with a 30.7. Good night for him. Let's see, Josh Small. Yes, I know, a little weird qualifying at not. Went through a little twist in the wrench there for these guys, and get them going with what they got. Unfortunately, it's a night race, which I prefer better. I like everything under the lights, and that is that. Like I said, 134 laps. They're doing a full race. I know they're capable to get it done, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, I forgot to talk to Dion. Oof. That's right. How much time is left?
Probably a minute, half a minute.
They got a minute and a half. Justin Steves moves up to P2, almost on the pole. I will see how long he lasts up there. Let's see, Dion's out there. No?
Well, the top 12 here, very tight qualifying between them. The top 8 separated 9/1000ths of a second. And then Ernest King and Just Stipe, both basically a 10th separation from the pole-sitting Brandon Moore truck. Probably a second and a half at least of tire fall off as far as lap time or speed is concerned, more than likely.
Yeah, that's about what they said. I'll do the quick lineup here with the grid, and then we'll boot scoot boogie. So, I see that Brandon Moore P1, Justin Steves P2, P3 Randy, P4 Skyler, P5 Josh, P6 Richard, P7 Nick Rader, P8 Dion Johnson, P9 Ernie King, P10 Joe Stipe, P11 Philip Bridgman, P12 Jorge Rincon, P13 Matthew Hunsaker, P14 Zach Deuscher, P15 Robert Amaro, P16 Brian Schwartz. That is your full lineup as they get ready to peel off.
Sixteen competitors to race in tonight's championship deciding four.
Yep. I'm guessing Robin Amaro couldn't get greened up. Oh, wait, there he comes. He's coming out.
He just had a moment there, just trying to get everything in order, perhaps. So Brandon Moore has the best advantage out of the championship four. He qualified on pole, and the nearest competitor, both Nick Rader and Dion Johnson, back in 7th and 8th respectively, and then Philip Bridgman in 11th. Just going to have to wait and see in 134 laps time who will be the Truck Series champion of this season in the BNR Racing League, and the flag man waving that green flag there. And we're off this evening. Pretty even Steven start by both lanes of traffic. Brandon Moore gets out to a good, comfortable whole shot lead with that inside lane right behind him. We got Randy Koking in the 48, keeping in tow. Josh Mall moving up into third with him. Nick Rader advancing here early on the first opening lap. Qualified 7th, already up to 4th because that outside lane just kind of didn't get going on that initial start. As we look a little bit further back to see where the rest of the championship contenders are, you can kind of see there Dion just kind of letting the truck come to him and just letting all the traffic that's a little bit faster at this moment go on by. Don't want any part of anybody coming up and accidentally getting involved with him. Want to try to play it safe and keep the nose clean as possible. You never know what might transpire. Skyler almost got into the wall, came down, and just about collected the 40 of Hunsaker. Luckily, they were able to keep it off of one another. See Ernest King trying to navigate the outside of Philip Bridgman in the 88. Philip trying to keep it on the bottom. Looks to be very I was going to say the side draft looks to be very strong tonight here with the trucks at Vegas, but that is almost a factor anywhere you go with these trucks. As Ernest King does a nice crossover on the 88, gets able to finally get clear of Philip at the moment in time. I would expect the handling to be very, very ill handling behind other competitors as Phillip looks to try to take the spot back underneath Ernest again. Now Ernest looking to the inside of his teammate Nick Ryder, who closes the door. That allowed Phillip to get a run back on Ernest here again.
I just noticed Phillips in the BNR Racing Network truck.
Yeah, he made it super quick and almost almost didn't make the race, but yep, he finished it super quick, kind of threw it together, and just something he wanted to make really quick and almost ran out of time as Brandon Moore and Randy Koking has broken away to basically a 0.5 of a second lead over the rest of the field. Randy somewhat challenging for the lead at this moment, but if they get too much side by sideness, this pack will eventually catch back up. They're only 0.5 back, so doesn't seem like a lot, and bam, they're right there. You can see Randy somewhat coming into the picture frame there. They're only 0.4 off of Randy, but 5 off of the race leader. If Brandon and Randy could just stick together like they are, they could slowly keep breaking away as the field behind them keeps trying to dice it up. That's going to help them, these two little tandem duo here, just break away even further. Randy started in 3rd place, able to get into 2nd off the initial start. Joshua Small just moved way down the order, down to 8th. Big, lots of shuffling going about. Nick Rader now trying to get a tow off the 48 machine. Just about seems like everybody has somewhat cycled to basically single file formation at this moment.
Oh, Brandon Moore, yeah, Brandon Moore is up there on top.
There is Zach Deutscher making his presence known inside the top 5 here. Possibly trying to grab a win here tonight, as he always tries to in any race he starts. As you can see, these 3 now have finally chopped down that pace, or that somewhat short of a gap that they had over the front 2. They kind of stopped trying to squabble for position and just let it all work itself out, I guess you could say, and reel in the top 2 there. So 14 laps in, green flag, and the championship 4 are all within the top 8 at this moment in time. Nice Valvoline paint scheme that Joe Stipe has on his 16 machine.
Oh yeah, they are all in the top 8. First, third, 6, 7.
Can't wait to see the first round of pit stops. Gonna almost see who going to play the strategy card first, as far as, if you're going to try to do an undercut, maybe stay out a little bit long, see which one of the championship four can do that the best here this evening. I think something might have happened there with Randy. He's fallen off of Brandon and into the clutches of Raider and Ernest there. As you see Joe navigating around Matthew Hunsaker there in the 40 machine. As Dion is looking to try to get past the 88 of Bridgman. Side-by-side battles in almost every position here. Joe really using a good, really good high line to try to get a good run on the back straightaway. Now, Philip Bridgman possibly losing some positions here from having good short run speed, but not enough for the full run. Like we mentioned, anywhere from 20 to possibly 25, 26 laps of gas in these trucks for 50% fuel. So if we do see, or if we suspect to see pit stops, it would start to occur on this lap, at least. Speculation. But doesn't look like anybody's coming in this lap. But pit window, we do believe, is open now. Philip battling with Joe Stipe there. Joe's been running that high lane just about since the initial start of this race, and now we are starting to see pit takers here. Lap 21 coming to 22. That would be the race leader, Brandon Moore, Nick Rader, second place man, Ernest King, and Dion Johnson in the pits. So Zach Deuscher would take the lead here at this moment in time, cycling through this round of pit stops. As we see the second flurry of the field coming down at lap 22 here, 23. And only 3 people, Skylar Sigston, Richard Johns, and Justin Steves, left out on the racetrack. So those 3 will probably come down this lap, as Nick Rader has closed the gap significantly on Brandon Moore, just about on the tailgate there of the 38 machine, as Justin decided to stay out. Here we see the second group of the field coming and merging from their pit stop. Looks like Brandon Moore might be ever so slightly ahead of Nick Rader when this cycle of pit stops will be complete. As soon as they are able to pass Justin Steves, you can see on our handy dandy track map there that Nick Rader is literally right behind Brandon Moore. So closing in on Brandon Moore, possibly entering pit road, or wasn't paying attention to the pit stop ticker on the bottom of the screen. Wasn't sure who had the fastest pit time. As you can see, Ernie trying to defend his position of third place. At least I believe that was. Might have been navigating some traffic there. We can see Dion looking low to take away the 5th position from Joe Stipe. Justin Steves 1 lap down because of him trying to play the fuel mileage game a little bit longer. Got ate up by the fresh rubber, or the at least a little bit hotter tire than what he had on his race truck. We can see Philip Bridgman passing Joe here, and looks like Matthew Hunsaker will look to try to do the same. So real interesting here who's going to basically, if I can get the math right, I think they're going to have to double stint some tire for sure, it looks like. As Skylar Sixton looks to make a pass on Josh Small here for what would be 10th position, but Skylar looks to be a bit tight on that bottom. Had a bit of a bobble coming across the bumps on the bottom. Welcome back there, Brian.
Yeah.
We could just see Skylar not really comfortable with the dirty air at the moment.
As he gets passed by Richard Johns on that low lane. Dirty air, pad is very tight and not pleasant.
Oh, Joe has a little bit of damage to the right side of his truck, getting up in the wall a little bit too hard there. That is the minus or the downside of running that high lane that he has been. Trying to get up there and get in the wall. But it is kind of quick at times if you can keep up the momentum. Nick Rader, though, just still behind Brandon Moore, as Justin Steves there with the, I want to say at least 4-lap fresher tire, trying to get a way around to get his lap back from the race leaders.
Oh yeah, this
So
is going to come down to the execution. Who can get better on pits and how much time they take on pits. So they should have enough sets of tires to get through. So that's not going to be a problem tonight. And yes, Will, I agree with you. Just in the lap down, we're trying to extend his pace.
Which can't fault him for it. You got to try something that can, at the end of the race, get you in the best position possible to try to win the race. And that just may be the thing that could possibly be the winning strategy. But only time will do tell. As basically the field now getting good separation, everybody finding their own pace as the championship four in the top 7 now. Got the main 2 contenders here, first and second. Dion and Bridgman seems to be close together, maybe close enough to be in their own battle. Only a couple of tenths separating them, and yes indeed, look at that. There they are. Randy Koking qualified, I believe, in 3rd position, now finds himself in 5th. All 3 of these trucks very well close together, about 3 tenths I would say separate the 3 of them, maybe 4. As, like you said, dirty air here, very, very ill handling, makes the truck very tight, very plowy, and that's never good whenever you're trying to just fight for a championship.
So on lap 75, we'll do our little section of our favorite night.
10-4.
We're halfway.
Nick Rader now dropping a little bit off from Brandon Moore, 6 tenths back, just over a half a second. Brandon Moore just must have that overall pace to just be able to stay that much further ahead, or possibly Nick has decided to just be a bit more conservative. You can see Justin almost giving Brandon really good pushes there. I would almost expect Brandon to almost just, in essence, like just, hey, get by me, you got quicker tire. But Justin could be saving again. We saw Justin basically slip to the rear of the field before the first cycle of pit stops occurred. So he possibly saved a little bit extra there. Brandon Moore kind of hit the apron, and you see it kind of really upsetted the truck there, shooting right up over the bumps into the middle lane. Las Vegas, very bumpy track, even after the configuration and repave.
Oh yeah, turns 1 and 2 very bumpy. You end up upsetting that truck by hitting the wrong marks. That's it for that truck.
I think it was 2008, possibly. Maybe 2007 with the, I think it was 2007 with the increased banking and the repave. Could be wrong. Trying to remember. But anywho, Nick Rader just kind of stabilizing there. Oh, he short-pitted there. So Nick Rader is the first one to choose a somewhat different strategy of our championship 4. I was noting on that as you stepped away. I was guessing or speculating which one would be the first to branch out, maybe do it during the first wave of green flag stops, but now we see it on the second as Brandon hits the lap later. Doesn't want to get too far gone from Nick Rader.
That would cycle out Zach Boisher to the front, then Ray behind Sager, then Phillip, then Josh. So this battle right here is 4P5, Richard Johns and Skylar 60.
I thought for sure when the second group did on the first go around, I thought there was going to be a wreck there, but they got all in there pretty good. And the second time of green flag stops here, they're a bit more spread out at least, so nobody really tripping or gonna run over one another. Doesn't look like the undercut helped Nick Rader all that much, maybe a little bit to get by Brandon Moore, but other than that, I think Brandon Moore should be able to stay within reason, not too much of a bigger gap.
I know,
maybe if Brandon,
he's right at his quarter.
Yeah, maybe if Brandon would have waited a little bit longer to pit, it would have helped out Nick, but the fact that Brandon came in the lap later wasn't too big of an undercut, and it actually gave, in my opinion, Brandon with the advantage of having the lap fresher tires. It's amazing how much a lap fresher tires can seem like an advantage. Nick Rader, though, dropping in right behind that 38, getting tucked up right underneath him. Sometimes all you got to do is just stay within margin, and you should be able to compete and be there at the end. That's what motorsport racing is truly all about, just trying to be there at the end to compete. As we see Justin Steve going along again.
I see now picks.
So Justin, the only one really to get the most out of his fuel tank.
As Dion Johnson and Randy Koken duke it out side by side.
Yes, this is going to be for, well, never mind. It's already for 6th position. I thought they hadn't got past Justin, but I guess they did.
Well, this field is so spread out.
Yes, indeed. There's a little bit of some tussles going on, but not really too many, to be honest. You got Philip Bridgman and Richard Johns close to one another, but then you got this battle with Hunsager, Koking, and Johnson. Randy going underneath Hunsager. All of the different strategy that is unfolding with, drivers pitting a couple of laps from one another. That'll give separation here and there, but it'll also pull them back together eventually, sometime. But depending, like you said, in the pits, depending on how quick your stop is, or if it's a bit slow, that'll be where the gap on the track is either inked into or extended. Pit stops under green flag is always the great equalizer as far as who is able to get on and off pit road the best.
So Brandon has maybe a half a lap fresher tires.
Well, he pitted the lap after Nick Rader did. Brandon Moore not wanting to let Nick get too big of an advantage on that undercut there. Like I said, if he would have stayed out a little bit longer, he probably would have got a bit more of a lead, but
Oh yeah. A lot of close battles everywhere.
yes, especially for third place, Ernest King and Zach Deutscher in a close battle there. And then 5th, 6th, and 7th. This is a good close battle as well. Philip Bridgman kind of by himself now. Richard Johns and George Rincon battling for 9th and 10th. Oh, Philip's got Justin there. Justin with the fresh tires. As Joe Stipe is slowly being caught by the 2 leaders. He will be the next driver to go 1 lap down, or is the next driver in that danger zone of going 1 lap down. Looks like he possibly could have repaired that damage on his previous pit stop. That could be why he fell a little bit more off the pace.
Phil's probably saving a little bit. .56 of 57 of 130 looks so far all yes.
Yes, all green flag laps so far completed. No caution in sight at the moment. As the battle for third is really good between Deutscher and King. Both of them very well able to wrap that bottom line.
Oh yeah.
Deutscher just can't seem to get the momentum or enough toe of the draft to stick his nose on the inside and make a pass attempt on the 24. These two are 5.5 seconds back over the 2 race leaders. Brandon Moore now pulling out to about a second over Nick Rader.
Brandon Morris is being very consistent. With hitting his marks and whatnot, you see there.
Deutscher now looking to the inside of the 24, trying to take that position away, 3rd place, but doesn't have the momentum on that bottom side to dispose of the 24.
They should be closing in on another cycle of pits.
And indeed they are, Brian. Probably lap 62. You should see 23 down, I would suspect. decide to go a little bit extra this time from the previous green flag cycle stop. He couldn't get the undercut last time. Maybe he might try to just go a little bit longer. But yes, Brandon, pretty dominant pace he is setting after qualifying on the pole for this race. Really wants to try to get that BNR Truck Championship.
As you see there, Brandon opens a 2.5 over Dick Rader.
Yes, Doning's contagious.
Yes, it is. And my apologies.
No, I started first.
So far, so good. This is what everybody likes to see, but some say it's boring to have full green flag runs. But I prefer the enduro. So
well, long green flag running is, in a way, always good to see. Trying to see who can stretch the pace out, who can, have the good fuel mileage, or the best fuel mileage. Now we're starting to see the third cycle of pit stops. Nick Rader indeed leading them down. Randy Koking and Ernest King. Possibly indeed Brandon Moore powered it down that lap. So Brandon wants to try to make sure that he doesn't go too far over at least a lap from Nick Rader.
Rader with an 18.6, Randy with a 10.5, and Ernie with a 15.4.
That's going to lose Rader a lot of time there. That's at least 3 seconds longer than he would have loved to be in his box.
Pits. Brandon
Whenever
Moore
it comes
with
down,
15.2 second stop.
Whenever it comes down to a championship deciding race, what we've talked about pretty much all season being mistake free, this is the time where you most definitely want to be mistake free. You don't want to have any type of speeding problems, any type of, oh, I overshot my pit, I got to back up. Just any type of other, like, say for instance, you accidentally blend before the blend cone on the back straightaway. Well, that'll be a penalty, but no one's done it yet at the moment, but I'm just trying to... Hopefully he would be able to begin a little bit of a deficit over Brandon Moore's pace. Before we saw this cycle of pit stops, he was in that 6th position area battling with Randy, and who else was it he was battling with? It was Matthew Hunsager.
Yes.
Oh, we got a wall, car up in the wall, truck up in the wall. Not sure who that was. I think that was Schwartz in the 94 machine.
I think so, yeah. Brian Schwartz with a 9.4. Johns with a 15.5. Smalls with a 14.8.
So Skylar Sigston looks to be trying to stay out a little bit longer. Now this time,
you see Skylar 60 now makes his picks.
Indeed. Joe Stipe with those fresh tires really trying to gain some ground. Apparently moved himself in front of Richard Johns. That would make him the lucky dog competitor, or plates truck. Keep stumbling and stumbling. So Justin, I would suspect, is going to pit this lap.
Yep. 16 with 11.5. Oof. Randy with the old slider-rooney.
Yep, that was almost a costly tank slap. And you could see how much time that Nick Rader lost in the pits from that 2, maybe 3 second extra pit stop.
Robert Amaro
came in
15.8.
Rader came in just over a second and a half back from Brandon Moore, and now losing a bit more ground to him. At the rate that this race is going now, you would just about give that championship trophy to Brandon Moore, but this is why we race. It's not over yet. Dion going down, and now behind Philip Bridgman. So Bridgman is in 7th place, and Dion down to 8th. Not sure if they are double stinting some tire at the moment, or what is going on. We saw Dion have a pretty good pit stop in the pits, but I don't think they are double stinting if it's basically full length stoppage as far as 14 or 15 seconds goes. We would speculate that is a 4-tire pit stop.
Now we'll go to our section of the night, give you guys a little intake here and all that other great stuff. Hi ladies and gents, enjoy the Crank It Up. As we come back and we see Richard Johns trying to get his lap back the hard way, and that will be by getting past Brandon Moore. With Skylar Sixton to the back end of Richard. Those two looking to get by Brandon Moore to get both of their laps back.
Yeah, I would say a pretty good blistering pace that Brandon Moore is trying to set here tonight. Has at least, what is that, six competitors, one or more laps down.
5 1 lap down and 1 3 lap down. And Robert, I don't know how many that bugger is.
It says he's in the pits, but I don't see his map icon in the pits, so just could be a glitch that he is no longer.
I see had a mechanical failure and then backed all the way out. Probably didn't register yet.
Good possibility. But nevertheless, I would just say dominating performance by Brandon Moore. Haven't really seen him having to fend off too much. We've seen Nick Rader try to pull some strategy cards as far as trying to short pit to take the lead away like that, but that's only been good for maybe a lap or two, and then Brandon swooped back by. Randy pitting here at lap 84, coming to 85.
So he's going to try to short pit it.
I think that's about normal, though, for Randy. I think that's where Randy's been coming in at.
Oh, okay.
And about every 24 laps, I think, for Randy, so. Now that Brandon has a